Hi everyone, it's Mr. Bartle here. I hope you've had a lovely half-term break where you've had the chance to play with lots of your toys and you've had a really nice rest at home. Now, I thought I'd start off this week's home learning by going on my very own adventure. And I thought I might need to take some things with me to make sure that I stay safe and have a good time. So I've got my bag here. And I'm going to put some things in my bag that I think I might need to take with me if I was going on an adventure. The first thing I'm going to pack is my woolly hat. Now, my woolly hat has been worn lots over the winter to make sure that my head and my ears stay nice and warm when it's really cold outside. So I'm going to put my hat in my bag. The next thing I'm going to put in my bag is my bright yellow coat. Now this will keep me nice and warm, but also because it's nice and bright, people can see me from a long distance away. So I know that I'm going to stay safe wearing this bright yellow coat. It's going to keep me warm and it's going to make sure that people can see me. So I'm going to put my yellow coat in my bag. Now the next thing I'm going to pack is my big flask of coffee. Now everybody in my class knows that I can't go anywhere or start the day without a cup of coffee. So I'm going to make sure that I stay nice and warm and nice and awake with a cup of coffee. So in goes my coffee. Now just in case it gets dark, I'm going to make sure that I can see, and I'm going to pack my red torch. Okay, my red torch is going to go into my bag as well, because if I'm outside and it's starting to get a bit dark, I can pop my torch on to make sure I know where I'm going. And another thing that I would like to pack is some food. I need to make sure I stay nice and full up and I don't feel hungry when I'm out and about. So I'm going to put my lunch in the bag too. And the last thing I'm going to pack is a story. And the story is called The Great Explorer. And I've packed this because I don't want to get bored when I'm out and about on my adventure. If I need something to do, I can read this story. And I thought it'd be a nice idea to read this story to you now. So I hope you enjoy it. And it's called The Great Explorer by Chris Judge. Enjoy.
The Great Explorer. Tom's dad was a famous explorer. One morning, when Tom went down to breakfast, he was shocked to see a picture of his dad on the front of the morning paper. His dad had got lost while exploring the North Pole. Tom resolved there and then to go and rescue him. First, he studied his globe of the world and found the North Pole. Then he bought a map so he could find his way there. Packed his bag and set off on his first adventure. He packed food, a fishing rod, a sleeping bag, a saucepan, a cup, a tent, a compass, some flares, matches, pick, torch, and binoculars. Casting off, he set sail out into the big blue ocean. After sailing for many weeks, Tom knew he was close to the North Pole when gigantic icebergs appeared on the horizon. As he sailed on, he saw lots of beautiful shapes in the ice. It was the most magical place he had ever seen. But soon the ice got thicker and thicker, until eventually the boat ran aground on the ice. Fortunately, Tom had a hot air balloon on board. He pumped it full of hot air, and soon it was ready for takeoff. He unhitched the rope and up it went. As night fell, the spectacular northern lights lit up the sky. Tom was amazed. But the balloon sailed too high and was hit by a passing satellite. The balloon plummeted downwards. Ah! Tom screamed with fright. Luckily, he had a parachute with him. Quickly, he put it on and jumped out. Phew! That was a close shave, he thought, as the balloon crashed to the ground. But just at that moment, he landed on top of a very dangerous cliff. Undaunted, he sat on his coil of rope and slid all the way down. But just as he reached the bottom, he skidded into a giant walrus. Tom ran away as fast as he could until he reached a dangerous river of broken ice. So he jumped, hopped, skipped, bounded and leapt across the ice until he was safely on the other side. As Tom continued his journey, it started to snow heavily. The blizzard grew wilder still, so he decided to pitch up his tent. But the wind was too strong, and his tent blew away. Fortunately, he spotted a small cave. He crept inside and was just settling down to have a rest when a giant polar bear leapt out. Tom ran away as fast as he could. It was getting dark, so he decided to build an igloo to shelter in. He built a fire to cook his dinner and laid out his sleeping bag for the night. Tom rose early the next morning to find it had stopped snowing. He dug a hole in the ice to catch some fish for breakfast before setting out for the day. Finally, just as the sun was setting, Tom spotted a familiar tent on the horizon. "Dad!" he shouted as he ran as fast as he could towards it. His dad was so happy to see him. He had broken his foot when he fell from a cliff and had been unable to let the rescuers know where he was. Tom took a flare from his big bag and signalled for help. Luckily, it was spotted by a rescue helicopter that was in the area, and they were soon hoisted to safety. As they headed home, Tom told his dad about the great adventures that he'd had on the way to rescue him. "We will call you the Great Explorer from now on," said his dad proudly when they were safely home. "I wonder where our next adventure will take us." And that's the end of the story.
I hope you enjoyed that story, everyone. And this week, our topic is going to be excellent explorers. And I would like you guys to be at home explorers too. And you'll find out tomorrow how you can do that. I hope you have a really good day, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye for now.